Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero of psych, defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on Langraskaya in the north. It is eternal fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps, featuring guard motor coordination tactics with T-35s, heavy mortars, Guards of infantry, vehicle crew repair training, and marked vehicle. In the south it is Markov, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 1st Panzer Division, featuring elite troops, Jaeger infantry, and German infantry. Eternal with the Dominator Counter-Start versus Grenadier 42 for Markov. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Champions and heroes one and all. Other people can join their illustrious ranks by Patreon on Patreon, or they can donate by PayPal. And links in the description. I'll let you know, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. Also helps out. So, off to the races here. First shots fired here. Pioneers lying down the bar one from the entrance here. Typically play for a southern play on this map, so the opponent can't use this building against them. He's got the point here. Ground points here and there. Steady start so far. Eternal heading eastwards rapidly for the Red Army. 2nd Coh2 squad following up there. MD42 moving towards the centre here. Coh2 moving forwards there. And in the west side, bit of slow movement here with the Pioneers laying down plenty of barbed wire. Coh2 moving up. And the 2nd Coh2 squad has arrived there. I mean, so far again, just fairly quiet except that little engagement here. As for Markov, he's got obviously plenty of options, but that I think crucial to point out is like they're sort of kind of focused on like infantry upgrades and sort of like elite call-ins with stormtroopers. Though there's also a bit of tigerish there with elite troops, so we'll have to see what he goes for. But there's some potential for something a bit more than just going for a lot of grenadiers with MG42s. 3rd Coh2 squad there for Eternal. Standard build there for the Surge. Triple conscripts, Domineers. Fairly flexible, aggressive, and then leaves you open for some Guards, Rifle Infantry, and also the Heavy Mortar. Sandbags up here. Coh2 moving forwards there. Flattening, of course, steadily the fuel point there. Eternal's got the east one, and there go for engagement here. MG42 with Pioneers supporting there. Nice little combo there. The Pioneers can spot for the MG42. The MG42 preps the conscripts, and then the Pioneers can close and deal with the target. So there's a bit of a, shall I say, tactical synergy there between the two squads. He needs to move towards the centre. Conscript's got the point here. Could try and push across the road, but most players tend to be wary of crossing the road there, I find. 3rd Grenadier squad there for Markov. Pioneers versus conscripts there. So far, fairly quiet stuff here. I mean, there's obviously some small engagement here and there, but there's nothing I'd say like really big here in terms of pushes or engagements. I imagine the Eternal's going to be pushing for a flamethrower soon here to upgrade his men, give some extra firepower here, unless he's planning to lay down some early mines versus Markov. That is a possibility. Some players would like to go for that. There we go. Flamethrowers on the way there. Michigan setting up, they're catching the knees just in time. North third point being grabbed. Map is roughly split 50-50, but the later points being more favoured here by Markov than Eternal. Really focused there. I mean, he could try and just swing up behind here, go for the card point, basically hooking up behind Markov's front line here. But at the same time, the way Markov is fighting the card point is a bit difficult for Eternal to do that since he risks his own card point being hit. So it's a bit of a tricky situation that Markov is posing. Eternal, we've got a 4th Grenadier squad, so I feel like that could very likely be German infantry. Like players like to go for that. It could still be light machine guns and something else, but part of me is definitely thinking German infantry actually has the commander. Pioneers the same as well here. Clearly Markov is not concerned about Soviet mines. There you go, nice merge here. MG4 turning around here, there you go. Pretty much catches Eternal in a bad spot. He's switching off there, splitting off. Constantly forcing up there. Card point is now threatened here by Markov. Scattering to the winds here as the German army pushes forwards. Very good focus push here by Markov against Eternal. Contrast the Grenadiers here. Punishment as well. They got 1 kill halfway to Hudson C1. May want to take up Sud-ish. South Engineers with the Grenadiers there. Constantly in pursuit with the Pioneers, the Grenadiers. Really nasty push here by Markov, really, and he's just causing so many frustrations there for Eternal. And with the 4th Grenadier squad, Markov's really in a strong leading position. He is also taking up plus building a bunker here. Still no sign of a commander for him, though, but again, German infantry feels likely. Attack there for Eternal, but not finished. Not finished. He wants that card point back no matter the cost. In this case, catching the MB43 positioning is definitely the opportunity here that Eternal wanted against Markov. Grenadiers are being murdered up. We got Grenadiers, Pioneers arriving. No machine continue to reposition. But then pursuing with the conscripts, it prevents Markov from easily setting it up there. They're going to need to build that supporting company finished, and you've... Oh, Pioneers needs clashing out. The Pioneers put back in there. Go machine them super the conscripts. A lot of engagement there. Go sets up. Molotov up here from Eternal on the Molotov. On the MD42. Catch the gun as well. Then enveloping them in the sea of fire. It's being murdered out. This one might want to merge the country engineers there again. Machine gun routed here. Finally got the resources connected. And he still hasn't finished that. Oh well, bother. For Markov, bankrupt, medics ready, and he goes for Jaeger infantry. Slightly disappointed there again. Not too uncommon either. This is obviously not a surprise, but you know, I would have loved to see German infantry, at least elite troops. There we go, finishing that at least. Moving up here, the conscript sandbags are up there. Ground the point. They could lay down some flare mines, and we got the grenadiers setting out here for the glory of a Markov and the German army. Not so much Markov's glory. I like to make it as particularly when he hasn't gone for German infantry. That's not particularly glorious in the book of the propaganda ministry. Mines down there. Whoops. For Eternal, thumbs up there. Grenadiers pushing forwards. Guessing light machine guns then. Not even G for the fuses of Markov. And we got a straight rush here for the tank group. Tank command for Eternal. Very good there. Could push for the half tank, but T70 seems very likely here though, as it is the standard choice. And he's already like going for guard motor. Lining up for a push for the centre. We love to goes for the ambush camouflage. That would certainly benefit him a bit there. The sign of upgrades for the Grenadiers. Comes to the pushback for the Pioneers. The Flammenwehr for their burning up. The Flammenwehr for 35. There would be later the Flammenwehr for 41, which was a lighter version of the flamethrower. So that's a bit easier to carry around. 2-2 there for Markov. Like to punch your wagon. Half track for a turn. Okay, so we do get a bit of a surprise. That does mean he won't be going for a guardsman with the DP light machine guns right away, because the half track with the anti-aircraft upgrade will be consuming the munitions dollars for the guardsman's DP light machine guns. That's of course not to say he won't ever go for them, but it does slightly, shall we say, delay that a bit. That said, it can also catch Markov off guard, which is probably what Eternal's hoping for, just a fast half track there. Though of course the 2-2 can somewhat push it back. There we go, half track out, he's got munitions there to go, immediately upgrades. Starts the upgrade there for the M5 half track. 2-2 moving forwards, and he's caught with the 2-2. Pioneers and engineers clashing out there, flamethrower versus flamethrower with the addition of a new car. The engineers are definitely outperformed there in a forced retreat, half track rushing forwards here. Court mount almost ready. Pushing for the fuel point there. At the same time, the Markers making a great push for the eastern fuel point. Half track there, go ready with the court map. Pioneers caught out in the opening, but with it, that's going to be a very uncomfortable experience for them unless they retreat rapidly here. There we go. So now, Eternal's got a fairly dominant position in the field here thanks to the half track, as long as it doesn't run into, say, a Pack 40 or telemine. We do get the telemine there for Markov, but I don't think it's laid down any telemines whatsoever. Rushing the half track eastwards. Goes quite a bit of half track. Oh, yeah, gets within range of the Pantherfaust here. That's going to be great here for Markov. Indy doesn't destroy the half track. It definitely diminishes its mobility. Got the guardsman out here for Eternal in the Red Army. Even, of course, doesn't have the munition for the DP light machine guns. It's still like, you know, 6-man squad with a pair of anti-tank rifles. So, you know, still decent. Nice rifle there on the west side. We got the conscript engaged here with the 2-2. Pack 40 out for Markov. Need to fix up that M17. Quickly, comrades, we must. Oh shit, we're under fire. Yuri, that's a flamethrower, not a welding torch. We don't like an accident again like at Leningrad. Pioneers with armor car push for the conscript here, overwhelm them with fire and autocannon shots. Lots of back and forth maneuvering between these two players. Grab these and fuel point here with the guardsman, looking to seize it back for the glory of the motherland. Half take good to go. May want to consider a field gun, but also like a mortar would be an excellent addition here for Eternal versus Markov. Markov going for light machine guns. No surprise, just, you know, pretty bog standard. Pioneers, engineers are moving out with flamethrower, looking to burn out the MD42 team, but we'll need support there to do it. If you activate up the half track on the other side here, that would threaten the retreat pathing a solo point. See, and get a chance of a wipe there and stealing it. But yeah, took the wrong path, I feel like there. Got the Pack 4 being pushed back here, pursuing the MG4 troop, but again, could have things set up for a actual clean chance of the wipe there. Do get a bit of overdrive here, really pursuing it. Pack shoots, misses. Heavy mortar out there for Eternal, thumbs up. And getting the half-track out there very fast as well. Good hit from the Pack 40, punches cleanly through the armor. Not that these half-tracks were particularly well armed or armored. In fact, these M5, particularly compared to the M3 half-track, were actually less well armored, which is why the Americans kept the M3s primarily to themselves and used the M5 primarily to handing out to their allies. Fun fact. But heavy mortar, they should definitely give Eternal here some extra punch versus Markov in his positions. Markov has yet to go for the Jaeger command scope, would definitely be a benefit for him. Graham needs some victory point. Garton pushing ahead. He needs to add some DP light machine guns in the near future. But the heavy mortar there is going to be a strong asset as long as he remembers to use the barrage ability. So far, though, no sign of barraging here by Eternal. After being fixed up. Good hit there on that armoured car from the heavy mortar. Had that been an actual heavy mortar round hitting the armoured car from above, that would have been at the end of the armoured car. But in-game wise, it could survive. Gravity, once we see a fuel trade there between the two players as they trade off the fuel points. And he's right in the centre. We got 437 to 374. Grabbing the eastern fuel point there with a good pace. Still no sign of ambush camouflage from Markov. Not much really of being used to the commands at this point. It's likely just be for the anti-tank strafes and the light artillery barrage. And again, maybe a command squad if it's lost. After they're going for the Grenadiers. Charging in there, 1 kill, close to 2. And there you go, Grenadiers send packing guards from arriving. Bit to go there before they connect the DP light machine guns. We do have a sniper out for Markov. A sharp shooter to bleed out those Bolshevik Schwein. The center arm coming to line of fire, possibly an anti-tank grenade here from Eternal's men. There we go, going for an Ura sprint there, fielding away here for Eternal as well, and there we go. Damaging the engine in the armoured car, causing significant structural damage and almost blowing it up, but falls a bit short there of the full Monty. Nurse and I take for Eternal and the first Panzer to be shown here as Eternal and the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps mounts for another assault against the fascist lines. So he's lost the Grenadiers Corps, but does not replace it with the Jaeger Command Corps, which is a bit curious. I mean, again, he went for Jaeger Infantry, but so far has made absolutely no usage of, like, the 3 first abilities, which really begs the question, why did he have this in the first place? He could, like, had Lightning War, which has a better version of the anti-tank strafe anyways, so it's like... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Markov's plan is there, but definitely feels a bit, so far, to put it gently, suboptimal. Meanwhile, Eternal's getting most of the map here. We've got the heavy mortar firing away there, 1 kill, half fleet of eventually 2. He's finally decided to use the mortar barrage abilities, by the way. When it comes to the mortar and general mortars in general, you want to use the mortar barrage fairly consistently. But in particular on the heavy mortar, you really need to use it to really get the most out of it. Using westwards here, no minesweepers. Honestly, you get away with another flamethrower. I think he was Markov, who has not been mining at all, which is certainly no aside here from him, but also from Eternal, who hasn't mined much either. Sniper running forwards here, 2 kills to the name. Comes with the Pioneers in the centre, heavy mortar there bombarding away. Decent hit there, kills Friedrich. Close call there with the Pack 40 on the half-time. We got 1 kill, not with eventually 2. Looking to, I think, try and kill the sniper with a heavy mortar. That's a bit ambitious there by Eternal. That is a bit ambitious, but if it works, it works. DP light machine firing again to the Guardsman. Eternal, of course, want to start taking up soon, so he can upgrade his counter with the 7 upgrade. Sniper there did definitely become very close to expiring there in the front of the heavy mortar there. They'll probably be removing bomb fragments from his ass for like days afterwards. Get off there. Feel like they're holding back. Left side again. I mean, there's not really a lot happening here. I feel like there could be like a really great position to like swing and hit the carve point, like get really behind Markov and hit one of these soft spots. But again, Eternal there's definitely feeling fairly hesitant about that. We got a smoke screen though. Thumbs up to that. I'm definitely liking we sort of lately been seeing a slight increase in smoke again. Like, I mean, I think it's also like, and it's come to. When it comes to smoke, like one thing is like it's really taking ages like people to like really catch on with smoke in the first place. It took years, and like we're 10 years into the game, and still like on average like a lot of people still don't use smoke very consistently, but it's still like, you know, really powerful and used correctly. So it's like, you know, definitely shows in some cases like how certain new things can take ages to act like they're properly adopted in amongst high tier players. Mechanized Summer coming in for a turn, good hit from the pack heavy mortar in the pack 40. After they're driving forward, see, almost got the pack 40 crew there. That's going to be pretty painful there for Markov. In particular, the turn grabs and turns against Markov. But there you go. Gets the close possibly to the greens with the Grenadiers and the Pantherfaust. After there with 3 kills, halfway to 3 Grenadiers being shredded out in the open. In the west, Engineers, then the same U-42. Could pop the incendiary pistol rounds here, but Markov does not pop it. Probably at that point you should consider getting the MD4 drop before it gets cleared up. But the Soviets, we've got a big push here. Conscript going forward. Anti-tank grenades being flung there at the armoured car like insults. And the armoured car narrowly survives. The engine is on fire. The crew is dazed. But they're still fighting for the fatherland. And the MD4-2 there. Manchester around units. This flank is on fire. And there you go. Heavy mortar lands a brutal hit. Almost wiped the entire MD-42 crew here. Allowing it still to survive though. Half-track knocked out. Oh, bother. He didn't get the armoured car, but lost the half-track. Didn't get the MD-42 either. That's got to feel really sour here for Eternal. That's got to leave a really nasty taste in the mouth. Good lord. Like, just, that is some absurd luck there for Markov. Absurd, I say. Support McCall, they're going out there for Markov. That's going to be a Panda 4, though. That said, Eternal is not far away from the T-35. Hamilton, the 8 kills. Close eventually, too. Definitely doing some serious lifting from in the west here. Engineers falling back as we got a few Grenadiers being dispatched there to block that maneuver. So there you go. Panzer Unterstützungskorps right about down there for Mark. We can then push for the Panzer 4. From the 2nd Battalion of the 1st Panzer Regiment. Typically, the 1st Battalion of a Panzer Regiment would have been Panthers. The 2nd Battalion would have been Panzer 4s. Though as the war went on, and they sort of had issues with producing enough Panther 4s, partly because of the furious insistence on limiting production, they would actually also add Stubes into the 2nd Panzer Battalion. Fun fact there. T-35 now here for Eternal. Then he's being hammered with the field gun. Okay, mortar at it again. Machine gun holding up here, fixing up the 222. Using it against the Grenadiers here, burning through them with their flamethrower here, the Rocks 3. A mortar firing with them very, very close eventually to their line though, very close. Panzer 4 right around the corner here for Markov adds the pendulum mounted MD-42, thumbs up to that. Got the T-3045 here for Eternal. They got the armor covers the guardsmen. Pioneers the conscripts, free their drops dead. Pioneers close to their turbets and fleet. T-50 on the west side, backed up with engineers. And there you go, Panther 4 horse comes right. I mean, they weren't in cover, so there's the Panther 4 in the open. Yeah, unless there were more guardsmen, that would have been a pretty bad idea. And even there, they take some nasty losses. T-50 moving forward, see it, moving the pretty much like opposite end of the map compared to the Panther 4 that the Panther 4 is quickly moving into. Seemingly meet the T-35, though don't think that is on purpose. Turns also starting to put really good pressure on the opponent's fuel pump while maintaining his own. Markov starting to get a bit more defensive, there you go. T-35 lands a good hit on the Panther 4 here, which is already down to half health. With Markov and the German army here definitely on the defensive right now. The T-35 here posing a definite problem for his Panther 4. As the T-35 definitely outclasses that one in game, and certainly did so in the war as well. Not to say Panther 4 didn't have a chance of taking it out, but with the T-35 and its 85mm gun, it didn't have much problem with the Panther 4's armor, and crucially, you know, with an 85mm shell, could definitely do some significant damage to the Panther 4. Use it on the west here. But at this point, I think Markov may want to consider some Stugs, particularly since Eternal's going to just start cranking out those T-35s if he's smart. If he's less smart, he's probably going to go for the Katyusha. I'm noticing a pattern a lot lately where people go for one tank, then go for the Katyusha. But the problem is, like, it may work out at times the opponent's, like, you know, really bunching up the stuff, but it isn't. Like, they're just losing so much momentum per unit that, like, you know, fires, like, every, like, almost 2 minutes. And then just does nothing. Meanwhile, the tank's going to, like, apply more consistent pressure. It's like people already have the heavy mortars. Like, you don't really need the Katyusha necessarily. Anyways, Scotty's been about here with the T-35. Guards coming up here as well. Pack 4 landing gun and the T-35. Rather than the Guardsman pushing forward. There you go. Quick button up. Field gun is... Where's the field gun? It's all the way up there. And there you go. Eternal does go for another T-35. They're very wise. Thumbs up. We got the DP up going to drop. That's a... potential good steal there for Markov's infantry. Would certainly boost the firepower of his Grenadiers significantly. There we go. So there is still a lot of work to be done here for Markov and the German army. Second T-35 almost done. Driving backwards into the field gun where the Panther 4 is definitely not advisable, ladies and gentlemen. So strike called in. That's, I think that's like the first time he's actually used the commander so far. Like, again, I'm not entirely sure I went for that one. Here we are. Honey some answers against the consoles there. T-35 on the Panther 4. Panther 4 shoots, bounces off the T-35's frontal armor. Shot fired there. Guess he's going to just go for another Panther 4 rather than the Stug. Flare mount's going off here. Sandbags wrecked, but there you go. T-35 flanking the Panther 4 here. Pack 40 is all the way back at base, going straight for the T-35. Got a finishing with the Panther fast here, forcing the T-35 to back off, allowing Markov to save his Panther 4, which has been doomed there. He's close to the Panther 4 number 2, but again, I really would advise the Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung here. Shooting after the Grenadiers, missing with his 85mm gun. And the west side T-35 coming up there. There we go, second Panther 4 for Markov and the first Panzer Division. We got 179 to 1547, it's on the races 40 for the Red Army, going straight for the Grenadiers. Fixing up that Panzer Kampfwagen 4, Pioneers how to work. Guards there being hosed by the Grenadiers. Still got one squad without any upgrades. Again, that's like I also feel like another reason why you should have gone for the Jaeger commands with just like munitions you then didn't have to spend upgrading the unit anyways. Plus, like, it is a pretty good unit, so I'm surprised again he didn't even go for the Jaeger command squad. That's like one of the primary reasons to go for Jaeger infantry is the Jaeger command squad, so definitely a bit of a baffling choice there to me. Sandbags up for Eternal. Armor coming forwards, easily making himself a target for the T-35. Got a second Pack 40 for Markov, by the way. Troll kills halfway to the east on that heavy mortar. And he's not far away from a third T-35 at this point, honestly, versus Markov. Panther forming up there, lining up for pushing the left flank here against Eternal, which is definitely isolated here from the rest of the map, by the way. Like, not fully isolated, but the head you see and the way sort of the map is defined means like if Markov launches a good assault here, you could effectively like destroy a good portion of Eternal's force without like Eternal needs to be able to respond to this. So the question is, will Markov do this? And will Eternal like react to this before it happens? I mean, technically, like, you could also argue the rest of the force is isolated again from the one in the west as well, so you could also like push eastwards, but the west one definitely also has less maneuver room for Eternal to get out of there from, so some potential here for Markov if he plays his cards correctly. That said, Markov does need to speed up whatever decision he makes because he's running out of victory points at a very rapid pace. But armored cars, the Guardsman got the T-35 coming in here. Half H vets, one armored car there may finally go down there and go. The T-35 pops it like a pimple. Comes with the Panther 4, Pack 4 coming up as well. Got the Grenadiers doing with the cannons, the conscripts. Panther 4 shoots, misses. point there. Garsman beating a very brave retreat, and they're going to push straight in front of the conscripts. Heavy mortar added, and the ace level on that one. Keep it for counter-attacking. Markov definitely, I think, has a chance again. Like, Eternal's forces are right now a bit scattered. Like, good push, but Markov will do heavy damage to Eternal before Eternal can, like, really rectify it. A good old defeat in detail. And there you go. May just in fact be happening again. We can see there parts of Eternal's force are isolated from most of the force going to easily much more dealt with. Artillery fire there almost takes out the heavy mortar, but he gets the fielding crew, leaving Eternal now with less support against Markov's armor, who still has 2 anti-tank guns backing them up. So suddenly Markov actually has a definite advantage over Eternal here. We can actually destroy the field gun here before Eternal has a chance to get it back. And there we go, field gun out, leaving just Eternal now with 2 T-35s versus the 2 Panther Force and the 2 Pack 40s. Had it been just the 2 Panther Force, he still had the advantage, but the 2 Pack 40s. The math is not quite adding up. Eternal goes for a Katyusha here. Heavy mortar ball did survive because, again, it can survive with just 1 crew member. Due to animations, though in reality a heavy mortar would definitely need more than 1 guy to operate it. It is a heavy mortar. It's not like, you know, the Japanese knee mortar, which was, you know, comparatively very simple to operate. Katyusha, they're almost done. Panther rolling ahead. Here's the Sunny again. Eternal finds his front line a bit under pressure. He still has a lot of advantages, but Markov's like definitely dealt with some of the bigger issues. And the Katyusha there, not super sold on that one necessarily. Again, the Katyusha is great, but well, if he keeps bunching up like this, maybe it can work out. But at the same time, there's also the argument just another T-35, some smoke, and then a good push. They could, like, you know, do Markov in. Comes to the guards from the conscripts, bit of shooting there. Bit of mistake with a Markov, perhaps. But there you go, before catching the conscripts out in the open. Shredding them here. T-35 shoots at the Panther 4, bounces off the armor. Conscripts there being absolutely mauled out in the open. Guard and conscript at the Pack 40 shoots there. T-35 they're taking heavy damage. West side going for the fuel plant there with the Frontovix. T-35 being pushed back, and there you go, Katyusha barrage at the 2 Pack 40s. And the rockets are screaming through the grenades, closing around that Pack 40s. Looks like they do somewhat manage to get them out. The T-35 rushing at them. There we go. 1 shot, 1 miss. 1 hit, 1 miss. Panther pass off on the T-35 there. 1 pack clear out, but still the 2 Panther Force could go for it. We got better on the Panther Force. Schützen added. And suddenly again, Eternal finds his forces grossly overextended. Like the parts in the base and the T-35, they're basically bare-assed in a sense here against 2 Panther Force. The other T-35s no need to be seen either. Eternal, I think, definitely spread his force out too thinly here, allowing Markov again to get that defeat in detail. And now Markov is going for the Stuke 3G. Excellent choice there, particularly with the Katyusha out, meaning the packs are slightly more threatened. But the Katyusha won't do much to the might of the Sturmgeschütz. So 4 kills on that Katyusha. Graham Lewis on point with MD-42. Oh, he counts the Stuke. Of course he bloody well does. Panther 4 fixed up there. Yep, another Panther 4. I mean, it also makes sense. Either way, the Eternal is suddenly in a lot more trouble. Like, he went from being in a fairly advantageous position to, well, being in the opposite of advantageous. Disadvantaged. Guardsmen forwards here for the glory of Comrade Sterling. Fix on the T-35. Katyusha's almost ready to fire again. Panther Force heading westwards, moving in the less armoured one first rather than the more armoured one. Interesting choice there. Of course, the argument in the old one, of course, preserve his more experienced ones who can get faster, eventually free, and more likely to survive to that point. Several hits in the Guardsmen and conscripts, causing some casualties there. Eternal sneaking forces eastwards here versus Markov's right flank. We got 124 to 251. 3 Panther Force ready. Looks like he could end up making a push on the base, or straight up run on the base of his 3 Panther Force. I mean, that could be quite nasty there for Eternal to deal with. There he goes, going straight for it. Markov seizes the initiative, but Deutschland forwards on his lungs as he charges in to Eternal space here. Infantry being bombarded where they thought they were safe. Medics dying where they stand, refusing to yield in the face of the fascist menace. Guard squad almost wiped out. There we go. Gone entirely. Tifa hosts the Panther 4. Shot bounce. That is very lucky there for Markov's Panther 4. Tifa rolling hit. Panther 4 misses. Pack Forge is opening up there. Double Pack Forge there. Good. Tifa father's in heavy trouble now. Almost knocked out here already. Panther 4 there. T2 going for near ace level. Second Panther 4 is slowly moving up here. We got 124 versus 225. Katyusha's all the way back at the base of Eternal's base. And Eternal is just facing off against the Wehrmacht right now as Markov is hammering at the door, shouting Hände hoch. And there you go. GG, game over. Eternal finds himself defeated in detail here by Markov. Overall, a nice back and forth fight here. I mean, Eternal definitely had the advantage for some time, but I think A failed to lay him at our minds. Could have used his mortar perhaps a bit better. But also, I think, been a bit smarter with his attacks here versus Markov, and crucially, been smarter about to use his tanks. I think it was too quick to split them up times versus Markov, which made it easy for Markov to manage the T-35s. And I feel like you've just gone for the third one rather than Katyusha. Again, it ultimately got 4 kills. The heavy mortars, like 16. Like, if anything, you should have gone for like 2 heavy mortars, which obviously I know is really, really cheesy, but yeah, I know, like, you're going to go for artillery, just go for the more cost-efficient one that's going to be like much more efficient against opponents, not going to like bunch up the stuff anyways. Markov, though, easily could have done much better with the commander. The lack of the A command squad to mention is baffling. At least some members camouflage, mentioned you for defeats. I think it also helped Markov have a much better early game. I mean, had he had that, he might not need, Eternal to make all some of these rather grievous mistakes late game. So there you go, though. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links in Cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.